good in the draft. I mean, they have Tim Hardaway Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
Iman Shumpert still on that team. You still got Carmelo's there. You got the Progini dude who's there. You got Tyson Chandler who's there. They got a couple. They should be okay. From what I have been reading, I think they're going to run a 2-point guard system, which means there'll be 2-point guards on the floor most of the time, which is kind of weird. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. And
Absolutely.
Carmelo Anthony can't put this team on his back by himself. There's no way. He's gonna. J.R. Smith is gonna need to play. Tyson Chandler. I'm not counting too much on Amari Stoudemire because he hasn't done a hill of beans since he's been there. So I'm counting on the other cast members to pick him up, and they should. They got a couple of they got Meta World Peace over there. They got a brawler for to protect Carmelo. They got a Meta World Peace there. They picked up a couple more guys off of free agents. They should be okay. I'm predicting that they should win their division this year.
They probably will. And, of course, Brooklyn thinks that they'll be able to compete with them. I'll be amazed to see how the Atlantic Division plays out.
That's a team I'm worried about because of all the old guys they have on that team. But
well,
also,
and think about the trash talking throughout the summer back and forth.
But also, those old guys are old, so they're prone to get hurt an awful lot. So you might not see them much, or you might see them much, depending on how much they play at the beginning of the season, towards the end of the season, and if they get hurt or not. They're old guys, so they might get hurt more often than not. You know what I'm saying, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be an interesting Atlantic Division this year in the NBA. It's going to be an interesting NBA. I'm looking forward to it because everybody in the NBA, every team in the NBA except for the Heat, want to dethrone those sons of bitches, want to take them down. The NBA and the 29 other teams do not want the Miami Heat to win 3 in a row, especially the Lakers, Detroit, the Bulls, teams like that. They don't want that to happen.
And I'm glad that I kind of saved this for the second half. We know there's a lot going on right now in sports. We know the NFL's going, and we know boring college football going on. But I kind of figured, Jeff, we could do a segment tonight and just kind of talk about the NBA and talk about what we expect from the teams and stuff too, because it's going to be great. And we know that Miami is heavy favorites, and the Western Conference will be competitive again too. We know Spurs will be back. We know the Lakers for a while. Well, they'll be back too, but they're going to be struggling without Kobe Bryant for a while too. Remember, they got the 8th seed and they played just absolutely flat in that opening round against San Antonio where they got swept. And then, of course, we know the Clippers are going to be a much better team, especially when you got a veteran coach like Doc Rivers, who did a great job in Boston, won an NBA championship in 2008. Now he goes to the Clippers, and you're going to have to figure out what kind of an offense he will run. What kind of a system will he run there? I'm sure it'll be a good one. And Chris Paul was just itching to get Doc Rivers this summer as the head coach. And then the Celtics, remember, we did shows back in June where where it was like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting basketball season. I'm fired up for it for sure. I'm looking forward to it. Lakers, see, if I'm the Lakers and Kobe Bryant, I tell Kobe, hey, take your time coming back. They really don't need him for the beginning of the year. They need him from like this almost before the All-Star break on. You know what I'm saying? They don't need him at the beginning of the season because it's the beginning of the year. You need all your players from like All-Star break and on. That's when you really need to make a move. So if Kobe Bryant misses the first 5-6 weeks of the season, who really cares?
True. And I think with the Lakers, though, it'll be interesting to see how Mike D'Antoni runs that. It's still going to be hard to believe, Jeff, that Mike D'Antoni will be the coach. And I just think about where we were last year. Okay, the season starts 5 games in. Mike D'Antoni comes in and replaces Mike Brown as head coach, which was a big shock because Phil Jackson was the coach. And then all that drama with Dwight Howard, he was clearly not happy being an LA Laker. He was not happy with it. He didn't like it because if Phil Jackson would have been in there, you run the triangle offense with Nash and with Kobe and with Dwight Howard. LA could have been a very tough team last year, but we'll see how they look this year. But all eyes will be on Miami. Everybody wants to see how well Miami does. Will they have enough to win their third straight championship in June?
I hope
That's
not.
going to be the biggest question. I hope not either. Browning goes, Jeff, I got news for you. This Saturday, I'm going to the Wizards and Pelicans game at the Rupp Arena this Saturday night. Woo!
You're going to go watch the Pelicans? Oh, God, I feel sorry for you. Hey, wait. Hey, Browning, when you're over there, pick me up a Pelicans hat, will you?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can send it to me. I collect hats, and I definitely got to have a Pelican hat, man. Pelicans. That's a joke and a half. Pelicans hat. Pelicans gear. Hey, you know something? If you want some really great and inexpensive NBA gear, and I'm really talking to you, Browning, because you're a big NBA fan, aren't you? And just like myself and just like Sean. Do me a favor, Browning bastard. Head on over to NBARealTalk.com. That's NBARealTalk.com. And up there in the top right-hand corner, you'll see the NBA store. Go buy your Pelicans crap right from there, you rat bastard. And then maybe you can wear it to the game. There you go. How about that? Instead of waiting to get to the game to buy your crap.
And Jeff, like I've always said, props to you on everything you've done for the sites. Jeff, a couple weeks ago, got me signed up for it, and I really like what he's done with it.
Yeah, on the NBA Real Talk site, it's a sports social media site. That means if you join the site, it's free to join. When you join the sites, you get to put your own sports stories of your favorite sports team on the site. So, for instance, if you follow NBA and you're a big NBA fan, head on over to NBA Real Talk, click the sign up button. It's free. Sign up, register, and then you can put your own sports stories that you see on the internet that you like and put them on that site. How about that? That's pretty cool. So head on over to NBARealTalk.com and check it out. All right, Sean, where are we going next?
Okay, so yeah, this was kind of the NBA topic here, and this was kind of like a big segment because, the NBA season's starting off in a few weeks. It should be great as always. So let's see.
Next week from this Tuesday coming up, 2 weeks from yesterday, the NBA season starts, and you have Miami's playing who?
Let me take a look and see what Miami is playing.
But I know that the Clippers and the Lakers are playing each other on Tuesday night. There's a doubleheader on TNT Tuesday night. It's going to be freaking great, man. I'm going to watch
taking a look
both
right
games.
now.
I think they're playing San Antonio?
Well, let's see. The first game will be at home. This is when the Heat will raise their banner. They will be at home hosting the Chicago
the Bulls. That's right, the Bulls. It's going to be Derrick Rose's first game back as well. So, yeah, that's it. That's 2 weeks from yesterday. NBA's back on TNT with the Heat against the Bulls and the Lakers and the Clippers playing each other. It's going to be kind of fun. Next topic, buddy.
So that's what's going on. Next topic we stay in the NBA. Howard was upset, Dwight Howard was, that the Magic letting number 12 be Warren. Apparently he wanted to do the reason why. During his 8th season, told the Orlando Sentinel that he is disappointed the Magic granted Toby Harris request to wear his number. He goes, quote, I just think that despite whatever happened, there was a lot of things that I did and that we did as a team, and that number was special down there, Howard told the Sentinel. And I was a little bit upset about that. So he was not very happy. Jeff, so much drama when we think about that situation where all of a sudden you've got Howard upset in Orlando.
Hey,
Howard
I got an idea, Howard. If you want your jersey, give the guy some money for it, you jackass. Isn't that what they do all over the place?
Mm-hmm.
Just give the guy some money for it. You got plenty of it. You signed that big contract, you got plenty of it. Or donate money to his favorite charity or something so you can get the jersey. It's just a jersey. Jesus Christ, man.
I know. He shouldn't be trying to make it like a big deal that somebody else is wearing his jersey. He goes, quote, I said, you know what? People are going to hate me for whatever reason. So I can't allow that to stop me from making my decision. I thought that my decision took a lot of because everybody's saying, quote, how could you leave the Lakers and 6 billion fans? But I don't care about being an outcast or being somebody that may look bad.
I hope he gets hurt at the beginning of the year and it has to miss the rest of the year.
Yeah, with Houston.
Yeah, I really do, because that would be karma coming right back at him. You know that,
absolutely.
right? That would be karma going right back at his ass, and that's what he deserves. Yep. And that's exactly what he deserves. Exactly. You know? It's ridiculous, man. Unbelievable. All he had to do was sit around and wait a year or two, and then he would have been the franchise. But no, I want to be for me, and I want to be for me right now. Okay, see where you end up, Mr. Howard. I hope the playoffs. That would be even funner. You know? What's your next topic, buddy?
Well, we'll see how Houston looks. The NFL, again, let's see, not much else really going on, but Peterson skips practice for the personal matter. As you know, Adrian Peterson missed practice Wednesday because of a personal matter, and while Coach Leslie Frazier would not address whether his absence was related to the death of his 2-year-old son last Friday in South Dakota, the coach said he expects Peterson at practice on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm sure he's just taking some time to deal with all that stuff that he's been dealing with. You know what I mean? It takes time, man.
It sure does.
Time. So, hey, I got a question for you. I'm gonna bust out some 5 questions. Do you want to do that?
Okay.
You want to bust out some 5 questions here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see if I can get some good questions for us. Let me see here. Where am I gonna go? Let's do you know what? Since we talked about the Knicks, okay, I'm gonna throw you a couple of Knicks questions. Are you cool with that?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Let me see here. How far will you think the Knicks will go this year? Do you think they'll miss the playoffs? Do you think they'll make the first round of the playoffs? Do you think they'll make the conference semifinals, the conference finals, or the NBA finals? What do you think, pal?
I'm going to say that the Knicks will make it to the second round.
You say they're going to make it to the conference semifinals.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to rephrase it. Eastern Conference Finals against Miami.
You're going to go for the finals against Miami. Ooh.
I think that would be such a great matchup, Jeff, basketball, and it could really renew the rivalry between the Knicks and Heat from the late 90s.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this. Who is the Knicks' most intriguing player? Tyson Chandler, Iman Shumpert, or the point guards? Raymond Felter, Pablo Prignoni, or Bino Uric? Huh? Yeah, like that Bino dude's going to play a lot. Remember what I said when we were talking about the Knicks earlier about the point guards? That's going to be their problem right there. They're going to have 2 point guards on the floor at the same time, which is ridiculous, and nobody's going to know who the point guard really is. Raymond Felton, personally, I don't like him, and I think he should be traded. I'm not a Raymond Felton fan at all. And really, the most important person who's the most important, intriguing New York Knicks for me, really, is J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith, and he is one of the top 3-point shooters.
Right, it's J.R. Smith, because as you see, as J.R. Smith goes, the New York Knicks go. It's not as Carmelo goes as the Knicks go, it's J.R. Smith.
Yep.
That's how I feel about that. And you know what? I got a Brooklyn Nets question for you. What grade would you give the Nets for all their off-season moves? A, B, C, D, or F? What grade do you give the Nets for all their off-season moves that they did this year?
Jeff, I'm going to go with a B.
With a B, huh? I was going to go either with a C or a D.
I had C as first option, D as second, and because then third.
They got a first-year head coach who's never coached on any level.
Jason Kidd.
Right. They got 2 old guys on their team, which is Pierce and Garnett. Okay. And then you got what the heck? And then Jason Terry over there. He's not very young either. He's there as well.